He is your targeted objective.
With a controversial history, including claims by some that it was part of a money laundering plot, nevertheless, in my opinion, 1988's Red Scorpion is a terrific, underestimated film. Almost wore out our old VHS copy back in the day. Red Scorpion tells the tale of a Soviet super soldier thrust into circumstances not unlike many Vietnam War films portrayed for American heroes in that era. Though Nikolai is Spetsnaz, he embarks on a spiritual journey not of his own instigating that leads to him understanding the cause of freedom and turning on the tyranny that had sent him there to kill a good man. Dolph Lundgren, Brian James, MEmmetWalsh, discount Boris Yeltsin. Red Scorpion is an amazing and entertaining example of the 80s Cold War military action movie with a uniquely Soviet hero. The whole Chuck Norris Missing in Action, John Rambo series of films, so many films looked back at the Vietnam War, the mission that wasn't finished, or the men that was left behind. A lot of times there's negative underpinnings about our government, its involvement, lies that it spread, and things that it did that were immoral. I wasn't there. I understand there's a lot of controversy about that. But of course, Hollywood in any era loves to pin everything on America and loves to pick up that narrative. Even though communists appear in many of these films as sort of the character of the strongman bad guy, it isn't until Red Scorpion that we really get the whole Vietnam type storyline, the Cold War occupation of another nation storyline from a purely Soviet perspective. Nikolai is a man of the system, the Soviet system that absolutely programmed and manipulated him from birth, affecting him physically, mentally, spiritually, if you can apply that terminology to communism. He believes the lies, he believes the propaganda. The idealism of communism as they choose to present themselves is what has been ingrained in him. Then he goes to Africa to kill a rebel leader who's part of a devious counter-revolutionary movement, only to discover these people that he's there to liberate, he's actually there to enslave, to butcher, and abuse. This is the Soviet way. Taking up with an elderly, only survivor of a village butchered by the Soviets, who teaches them the spiritual way of the hunter, gives them the mark of the hunter, the scorpion, which accompanies his name. Nikolai goes back to become a military leader for the rebellion, undoing some of the damage that he helped to create in supporting the Soviet system. It is this perfect hero's journey story arc, complete with the spiritual elements he has pulled out of atheist communism and into the fight for liberty. And it is exactly the counterpoint to all those American Vietnam War films. He is the guy disillusioned with his government who fights back, but it gives much more of the truth in detail of the evils of the communist empire and its murderous butchery. Accompanied by, hilariously enough, a soundtrack by Little Richard, and yet somehow it fits. Great action combat sequences and that whole mythological journey. I just don't understand the hatred for this film. I love this movie and I can still watch it today and be like, yes.
I leave you as an insult to your people.